This is an anime based on a manga about a samurai. One who is known as the best of all, the manslayer, taking out hundreds of soldiers for this army, for the Imperial Army. Now, after years of war, he's become a wanderer. Somebody who has put his manslayer days behind him. And as he tried to fight for those who can protect themselves, he finds himself struggling on going back to the man he used to be to protect those he loved and cared about. I'm talking about Rurouni Kenshin, Kenshin Himura, the Baitosai, the manslayer. And on this episode, movie breakdown series review, I'm going to review season 1 of one of my favorite animes growing up, and still is to this day. The anime that came out in the 90s, still solid in 2021. Stick around, we're going to get into it on this episode of Movie Breakdowns. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zakka. What is Movie Breakdowns? A movie review series. We look at new and old movies, anime, TV shows, give them a grade. Each individual season, by the way, an A through F grade, plus minus a due count. And then at the end of it all, we get an overarching grade for the series. And if there's a series you want to review, please put in the comments section below and I'll get to it as best I can. Now, I do want to say thank you guys so much. If you like this series, please give a thumbs up. Please comment what movies you want me to do and request or TV shows, animes, request. Put that in the comment section. I get to it as best I can. And thank you guys so much. Please share, talk to your friends and family about it. And then also Patreon, if you want to cut in front of everybody, because on YouTube, you might not see this review until October or late September, but you know what? On Patreon, you'll get this in August. So check that out. On the Patreon, you can cut in front of everybody for $2 a month. You get cut in front of everybody, also ask for reviews before everybody else can. Shout out to Tyler Phoenix. And y'all get other stuff like trade reaction, trade reviews, first thoughts, and much more on Patreon. Other than that, YouTube, you might have to wait until I get to your review request for like a year or a few months. So think about that. Now, let's go ahead and get into today's review of Movie Breakdown and series review of Rurouni Kenshin, Season 1. And what is this series about? I'll pretty much open up in the opener here, but yes, it's about a former manslayer who was one of the best samurais, legendary samurais in the time of war. Well, the warring days are over. He is now wandering through life, protecting those who can't defend himself with his sword. And as he's trying to protect people he becomes and to love and care about, he finds himself winning back and forth to the old manslayer days, and he's trying to do whatever he can not to go back into it, but at the same time still be a person of good and never kills again. He has made a vow to never kill again. I do want to give you guys the heads up before you move any further. This is a spoiler review for an anime that came out in 1996 when it started, and according to IMDb, lasted in 1990. You can find other episodes or cleaner versions or better versions of it that's been done and redid. Still the same anime, but like cleaned up, remastered for different years. Like I ended up watching this in the 2000s on Toonami. My anime after school block consists of Dragon Ball, Rurouni Kenshin was last. Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball, G Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, and then Rurouni Kenshin. That was the lineup, and sometimes you might get Hamtaro in there, and the other time they rotate with other animes, but like Rurouni Kenshin, Dragon Ball Z, G Gundam was a mainstay for the longest times. I'm pretty sure it was like 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Like you got G Gundam, Yu Yu Hakusho, Dragon Ball Z, Rurouni Kenshin. I think that was the lineup, and I watched this anime so many different times. And watching it again in the year 2021, it doesn't get old. It is still just as good to me. Watching it as a kid, it's the same stuff. Now, I will say there's two different versions of this anime. You watch it on Hulu, you're going to get a different voice actor, especially for Sano and Miss Karu. But if you watch this on Funimation, you'll get the Toonami version, the one that came out, aired on TVs in the States in the early 2000s. You'll get that version, the one I think that's the best version, because you get Sano's actual voice actor, his Funimation voice actor, and Miss Karu and Yahiko, the actual voice. So I will say, if you're going to go watch Rurouni Kenshin, watch on Funimation, not Hulu. Netflix at one point had the Funimation version on there, but I think it got moved to Funimation, so sorry about it, guys. But this anime to me is solid. It is great, done really, really well. Season 1, you have a couple of filler episodes in it. It's 27 episodes long, and for the most part, it flows really well. It's kind of like a slice of life for a slice of life anime for like Miss Karu, Kenshin, and Sano and Yahiko, who are the main characters you follow, and then you get arcs, mini arcs within season 1 that cause Kenshin to have to step up and protect Miss Karu or Yahiko or Sano, protect them and find a way to not slip back into the manslayer. There's a group called Obi-Wan group, if I said the name right. You get that group who was a list of assassins, and Kenshin and the gang gotta fight them, protect another character. It's really solid stuff, and within 27 episodes, you get invested in Kenshin, you get invested in Miss Karu, you get invested in Yahiko and Sano. You get invested into these characters, and you want to know more about them. You want to know how they, bond and come together and overcome certain challenges. And it's also has a mix of comedy in it too, where the characters also cracking jokes and making fun of each other and doing things where like they show they're actually friends and show they're actually bonding, versus like, well, Rurouni Kenshin's main character, hello Yahiko, you're part of the group now, but you don't get much say. Like, no, the 10-year-old kid jumps into the fight a lot of times with the adults and tries his best to protect others, just like Kenshin. It's really solid, really good writing. The only thing I would have a gripe about this anime is that the filler episodes, you can tell when you're watching a filler, and you can tell when you're watching a legit episode, like a canon episode. You can definitely see the difference between them, and maybe because the fillers are done by different studios, but you can really see the difference. And there's one episode that, to me, and I even saw this as a kid, that I thought was kind of odd, I'm gonna call it the train episode. On the train episode, the artwork and animation and the drawing style for Kenshin and Miss Karu and Yahiko and Sanosuke looks a little more animated, look a little more toning in color, is darker and glossy, if that's the word, versus when they are, the regular canon episode looks more like hand drawn, straight, not really glossy, not really color. Like, think of watching season 1 of Digimon and then go watching Digimon the movie, and that animation style difference, what looks like to me when I watch the train episode in season 1. And there's a few other filler episodes that do the same, where you're like, a different studio did this episode. We can obviously tell, and I could be wrong, it just looked like it done by a different studio or a different artist, or they tried something different on the filler episode than the canon episode, which is perfectly fine, because you think about it, the filler episode is literally just to be filled in to keep the season progressing, so that maybe the manga can catch up or where the case may be. So the filler episode use a different animation style than the canon episodes. At least you know you're watching a filler, and at least you know at the end of that episode it's gonna go back to the original style. So shout out to that. That's some of the things I would say that like stood out to me. I don't consider a gripe, it just stood out to me that I'm like, man, okay. And this is a 90s cartoon, so you're gonna see characters just standing there for a moment and just only thing that's moving is their mouth, or they will say certain things, you're like, yeah, that's definitely 90s animation, 90s movement, but it still holds up in 2021. I think it's a solid anime, solid season. Pretty much all thing else left to talk about is the characters. So you have Kenshin Himura, who is the main protagonist, he is the manslayer who left his past behind, and most part he's a kind-hearted, good person who looks out for others, who don't want to see anybody get trampled on or see anybody get turn their back on justice or turn themselves into the dark side. He's gonna sit there and stay with you all the way through and make sure you don't do anything stupid. If you don't change or you want to cause harm to people, he's gonna shut you down. Now, Kenshin uses a sword called the reverse blade sword, so his sword cannot cut anybody. It is literally purely like him hitting you with a, I'm gonna say metal, but iron. Like he's hitting you with, I don't even say similar to a bat, because it leaves scars on people and it does dislocate joints, but it will not cut anybody. You can't get cut by a reverse blade sword. You're just gonna get battered and knocked out and bruised really badly. So Kenshin uses it, and he uses a style called the Hiten Mitsuruki style. I'm messing this up, but this style, it's a style where he can use his speed and agility. His Kenshin is super fast, and he's nobody at this in season 1 can really amount to how quick he is. And the only way people actually get to Kenshin is that they have to go after other people like Yahiko, Miss Kaoru, and Sanosuke Sagara, who is Sano. They don't really go after him because he can hold his own in the fight. But Kaoru and Yahiko, they will try to go after those two, and Kenshin finds himself questioning like if he can do something without slipping back into the manslayer. Great storyline for that character. I love it. I love the ideas it plays with, and him being a symbol of war, but at the same time being a symbol of a new era where peace and happiness is abundant in a lot of places. And there's a lot of people who they are literally just got done fighting, have to try to get adjusted to the lifestyle, and they're having a hard time getting adjusted to this lifestyle. But Kenshin trying to help those get adjusted to being a person in time of peace and not a warrior in time of war. Then you have Miss Kaoru. Miss Kaoru is another kind-hearted character who sees the positive in everybody. She believes everybody can do right, and she gives everybody a second chance. She believes that everybody has good in their heart. It's just a solid character. She's also a jokey character, a little comedy relief sometimes. And her and Kenshin has a little, season 1 have a little tension there between those two, where Miss Kaoru obviously is crushing on Kenshin, but they don't really lay it on thick. They're laying the groundwork here for something that could, you know, progress in season 2 and season 3. So she's cool. She's cool. She's a strong character. She can hold her own. The only time she really gets beat with like people who are more savvy in the ways of war. She's not a person who grew up in war. She wasn't raised in war. So therefore, she is not somebody who is quick to kill somebody or take somebody out. She actually uses a bamboo stick, sword. I believe it's bamboo, if not wooden sword. So therefore, she doesn't really kill. She just knocks people out as well, and she can't hold her own in most spots. But when she goes against somebody who has the mindset of a killer, she finds herself in a tough situation. Solid character. I like her. She's a really strong character. I like her compliment to Kenshin. You also have Yahiko, who is a young kid who, when you first meet Yahiko, he's like a street rat. He's working with a gang, and Kenshin and Miss Kaoru kind of save Yahiko and bring him into their group. And he's a spunky, not sidekick per se, but you can say he's kind of like the sidekick because he's a guy who, like, I'm just as big and bad as the rest of you guys, but he's also can't really hold his own either. He's a kid, so therefore he gets one up every time, but he does step up for other people and try his best to take somebody out, even though he's just a kid. And there's actually a whole episode where he learns how to use a sword, and you learn, or not even use a sword, you learn how to use the technique that Miss Kaoru teaches him and uses to his advantage to be more efficient martial artist or swordsman, not martial artist, but swordsman. So good for him. I think the character's done really well as well. Sanosuke Sagara. Sano is actually one of my favorite characters, and season 1, when you get to introduced to Sano, the fighter for hire, he is somebody who is threatening, menacing, but a cool dude who also has like a sense of justice as well. And him and Kenshin clash against each other, and Kenshin comes out on top. I'll let you guys watch that episode because I think it's a really cool fight scene. But Kenshin comes out on top, and Sano ends up joining them, but he never really leaves his past behind. His past come back to haunt him a few times in this season, which I love it. He's dealing with his demons and his past, but at the same time also wants to do the same thing Kenshin's doing, where he's kind of like throwing away his past and say, my past is not who I am. I'm going to turn over a new leaf. He kind of looks up to Kenshin to be like a role model. Sano is a great character. He has this giant sword. I think it's pretty awesome, pretty dope. I'm just going to let you guys watch the season, see what happens with Sano, but I think Sano's great. But season 1, you have like the setup season. You're getting to introduce to all these characters and them being together and them going on adventures and doing these things. One thing about the filler episodes in this season, it does allow you to see these characters interact with each other more and see how they play off each other and grow with each other. But like, because it is filler episodes, they don't like, they're not canon. So things that happen in certain spots or certain characters get introduced in the fillers, you won't see them again because it's not canon. But you get to see how Kenshin, Yahiko, Miss Kaoru, and Sanosuke play off each other and hang out with each other. We can see that bond of like they actually are friends. I think that's pretty cool since season 1 only has like 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 mini arcs in it, where like it's not one whole season as an arc, they're all breaking up. You can do filler episodes like that where, okay, these 4 episodes are canon and these 5 episodes are not canon, but the 8 episodes or the 4 to 8 episodes after that are canon. Like, I think that's a great way to do it, like with those mini arcs, because the arcs are the whole entire season, so you can have different stuff and different stories tag along and show people that, okay, they are friends, they are a bond, they're together here. Love it. I love it. I think this season is solid. Like, as far as negatives or things that I didn't like, let's see, 27 episodes, 1 through 12. I had to look this up. 1 through 12 are canon. And then you have 5 episodes after that are filler. And then you have 2 episodes that are canon. Then like a few episodes after that are not canon. Then you have 2 episodes that are canon. And then the last 3 episodes of the season are filler. There's a lot of filler in season 1, but it's nothing like Bleach where like an entire season is filler. No, it's done right. I think it's done correctly, and it gives you a little more time with these characters that you would have gotten without the filler episodes. So that's my only gripe. Is this a season you should watch? Yes. Definitely watch this season. Definitely watch this first season of this anime. Oh, and music. Music is phenomenal. The soundtrack for Rurouni Kenshin is great. The Kenshin Himuro theme song is amazing. The Sanosuke Cigar theme song is, or his clan that he's a part of, I just forgot the name of his group, but the Seki Hota, I believe, yes. That theme song is solid. The Tension theme song is solid. The theme song, the music, the OST, the original soundtrack for this anime is great. Amazing. And season 2, which is one of my favorite seasons and one of my favorite original soundtracks that I actually play a lot, have been playing since a kid, Departure, when that soundtrack hits, it is great. But that's another season that I'm going to talk about in the next video or next season when I get to it and finish it. But the original soundtrack is great. Now the opening theme song and the ending theme song, it's not solid to me. I don't like the theme song. I skip it every time. The opening anime opener for this anime is not that strong. Tanami had a really good opener, a really good closer, Heart of Sword. And I wish this anime will play it, but we'll see. We'll see if Funimation throws that theme song or the ending the ending theme song in there, or just leave it as is. But yeah, this is an anime you should watch. Grading time. I'm going to grade Rurouni Kenshin Season 1 an A-. This season gets an A- for me. I think it's still great. I think it still holds up in 2021. The storyline is solid. You can get attached and grow with these characters with these 27 episodes. It's great. And they lay down groundwork for future episodes or future seasons in this season. Solid stuff. Good work. The only gripe is that some of the voiceovers doesn't sound like the lips don't match, but that's also, you get that in 90s anime. It's 2D hand drawn, and some of the filler episodes are not the strongest. The filler episodes, like, not all you'll be intrigued in, but they're filler, but it's okay. So an A-. If you guys seen Rurouni Kenshin Season 1, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode when we break down series review, and keep it awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zakka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episode of movie breakdowns or grind towards success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of movie breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.